honestly so excited for this video. I'm going to be sharing with you a list of fun spring coffee flavors that you can try and make in your own home. If you do not know, I was a barista and I managed a coffee shop for almost 2 years before having my first son, and I honestly loved it. If I was not a stay-at-home mom, I would still be doing that. I just loved experimenting with the flavors and making the coffees, and it was just so much fun for me, and I love that I can bring that into my own home. I will say you do not need an espresso machine to make these coffees. I believe it tastes better if you use espresso in all of these drinks. You can do a strongly brewed coffee with just regular coffee or a French press. Actually, the machine that we have is very old. Someone gave it to us. It's like half broken, and I'm still able to make good coffees with them, and I love doing that for my friends and family. So, which I actually have a few things to share with you before I share the recipes. So first is thank you so much for Tin Boom Coffee Roasters for sponsoring this video. Tin Boom is my favorite coffee company for so many reasons. They are organically grown, mold-free coffee that is roasted in Israel, and a percentage of every purchase goes to helping Christian endeavors in the Holy Land and abroad, which I love that. I love the mission behind this coffee brand. So they actually sent me 2 bags of coffee to use in this video, and I'm so excited to grind these up and share the coffees that I'm about to make with these beans. The first is the Casper, and that is their dark roast, and the other one is Zion, and that is their medium roast. I've tried both of these before and I absolutely love them. The flavor is completely unmatched. So if you want to check out Tin Boom Coffee Roasters, I will have their information in the description below, and I'll also have a 10% off code that will save you money on anything on their website at any time. And then the other thing I want to share with you is also so exciting, and I have just released a new guide, and it's all about how to become an at-home barista. I share how you can make really great coffees at home from scratch with pretty much anything you have, whether that's a French press, a normal coffee pot, or an espresso machine of any price. I have 15 syrup recipes you can make from scratch. There are 10 coffee flavor combinations that you can try and make in your own home. So I also have that in the description box below. Since I just released it when this video goes live, it will also be on sale right now, so definitely go check that out. For now, let's get into the rest of the video and let's make some coffees.
Alright, we're going to start off with the brown sugar shaken espresso. This is kind of a popular drink, but it's very easy to make at home. I started with a few tablespoons of sucanat, which is like a brown sugar, but it's not as refined. Then I add some ice, and I will say you can use brown sugar in this as well, or a brown sugar syrup. So then I add my ice into my jar, and I pour in my double shot of espresso. I like using the dark roast here. Then I will shake it up. I kind of put this over the sink as I was shaking as well, because I don't want to spill any of it, and I shake very vigorously. So then I grab my glass and I will add some more ice cubes to it, because the hot espresso will kind of melt your ice cubes in the jar. So I add some of that to the glass and then pour in my shaken espresso with the brown sugar, and that will all mix in beautifully. And then depending on what you like here, you can add milk, you can add half and half, some heavy cream, some coconut milk, whatever you are wanting. I added some half and half in this one, and that is the brown sugar shaken espresso. Alright, let's move on to this really fun drink. This is the strawberry cheesecake latte. I start with a strawberry latte base, so I use my strawberry syrup. I add that into my glass. I will do maybe like 2 tablespoons. I will add more if I'm really wanting a strong strawberry flavor, and then I add my espresso shot. I think I did the medium roast here. I do a double shot, add my milk, and I will add my ice to the glass, and then this comes the fun part, the cheesecake cold foam. So you start with some softened cream cheese. I will do about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, and then I will add in my heavy cream along with some vanilla extract and some salt and some sugar, or you can do a simple syrup like a classic syrup for this as well, or a vanilla syrup. I use a little like cup. I will have I will set out my cream cheese, or maybe warm it up in some way in that cup, and then I can blend it. I use my hand frother, or you can use a handheld mixer for this as well if you're wanting to make large batches, and you can even store it in the fridge to use over the days of making a strawberry cheesecake latte. And then I pour that on top. I didn't have quite enough here, but it still turned out really great, and I added a little strawberry for a cute touch. So that is your strawberry cheesecake latte. Now we're going to move on to a Teddy Graham latte. This one is a really wonderful flavor. I start with some brown sugar, or sucanat is what I'm using here. I do about a tablespoon of that, and then I will add about a tablespoon of honey. You can add some salt here as well if you are wanting a different type of like a saltier flavor in this mix, but I just added some cinnamon in here, and then I poured in my double shot. Again, I'm using a medium roast here because I think I like that better. Sometimes I will use a dark roast. Mix that together until the sugar is dissolved, add some ice cubes, add my milk on top, and then I decided to make a cold foam for this one as well. This one is just a simple half and half you can use, or you can use 2 tablespoons of heavy cream and 1 tablespoon of milk. You add in your sweetener. In this case, I did some honey to match the honey flavor in the Teddy Graham latte, and some cinnamon, and I blended that up with my handheld frother. If you want any of the links to the coffee supplies that I'm using, I do have a whole list over on my Amazon storefront. I will leave that linked in my description below. So then I pour my cold foam on top, and then I did another sprinkle of cinnamon just for the look of it and to add to the flavor. And again, this is one of my favorite lattes to do right now. It is so simple, but it really does have such a great flavor, and I love it iced. You can also do this one hot. Any of these you can pretty much do hot besides the brown sugar shaken espresso. So let's move on to our next one, and this one is a very fun, different recipe of coffee. This is a ice cream espresso float. So I start off with some type of syrup base. You can do a classic syrup. I did vanilla syrup here. You can do any flavored syrup you would like. Then I added in some club soda on top of that. You want to do this first because if you do the espresso first, it will kill the carbonation of the club soda. Then I added some scoops of ice cream. I would have done more here, but I was running low on vanilla ice cream. But I would really kind of pack that in, or maybe use a smaller glass to do so. So I added my ice cream scoops, and then I will pour on my shot of espresso on top. You can do a light roast, medium roast, dark roast. I think I did the dark roast here, and I pour that on top. Give it a little mix. I will serve this with a spoon and a straw, and it really has such an interesting flavor. If you are a coffee lover but also want something cold like a root beer float, definitely give this a try this spring. Alright, for our last one, this is the lemon meringue latte. I love this flavor as well. I will start with a simple like sugar base. I will use vanilla syrup if I have that. I did just sugar with vanilla extract and some drops of lemon essential oil. You can also use lemon syrup or lemon extract. Pour in my shot of espresso, mix that around, add my ice, and add my milk on top. Then I did a whipped cream on top of that, and that really adds to the lemon meringue flavor. I think this one was just made with whipped or heavy cream and maple syrup. You can do vanilla and sugar, powdered sugar, however you make your whipped cream. I made this one homemade, or you can use store-bought. You pour that on top, and that is such a wonderful spring flavor of coffee is this lemon meringue, because it gives a little hint of lemon while also being sweet and having that vanilla in there, and the iced is just wonderful. So those are the recipes I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's any more recipes you want me to do. Maybe a summer coffee recipe video. I would love to do that in the future. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!